Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Clarity English Studio. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Alex. It's great to have you with us today for what I think is a really exciting topic.
Absolutely. Today, we're going to talk about how to actually train your brain to think in English. It's like exercise for your mind, and we'll share some simple, practical steps you can start using right away.
That sounds amazing. I know many learners struggle with constantly translating in their heads. So how do we begin this brain training?
Let's start with a simple question, Alex. When you want to say something in English, what typically happens in your mind?
Well, usually I first think of the word or phrase in my native language, then I mentally translate it to English, and finally I speak it.
Exactly. That's what most English learners do. But there's a more effective way, thinking directly in English without that translation step.
Thinking directly in English? That sounds ideal, but also challenging. How do we actually do that?
We start very small. Instead of trying to form complex thoughts, we begin with simple, everyday observations. For example, right now I'm holding my water bottle. Instead of just thinking bottle, I might think, this is my water bottle, or my bottle is blue.
Oh, I see. So we're forming complete but very simple sentences about what we're experiencing in the moment.
Precisely. This is our first key strategy. Think in short, simple sentences throughout your day. Describe what you see, what you're doing, how you're feeling.
Could you give me some examples of how this would work in daily life?
Of course, let's walk through a morning routine. When you wake up, you might think, I am waking up. The room is bright. I feel tired. I need coffee.
That does sound manageable. And while commuting, I could think, I am on the train. Many people are here. The weather is nice today.
Perfect. You're getting it. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Your brain starts building direct connections between English and your experiences.
Okay, that's our first strategy. What's next?
Strategy number 2 is about input, surrounding yourself with English that you enjoy and understand.
Input, meaning English coming into our brains through listening and reading?
Exactly. When you listen to English content that you find interesting and can mostly understand, your brain absorbs the patterns and rhythms of the language naturally.
What kind of input would you recommend for our listeners?
Well, podcasts like ours are great because we speak clearly about familiar topics. Music is another wonderful option, especially songs with repetitive lyrics that are easy to follow.
I love that idea. And what about videos or movies?
Videos about your hobbies or interests can be perfect. If you enjoy cooking, watch simple cooking tutorials in English. If you like technology, find tech reviewers who speak clearly.
So the key is to choose content that we genuinely enjoy so learning doesn't feel like a chore.
Exactly. When you're engaged and having fun, your brain is more receptive to learning. Now, what's our third strategy? Strategy 3 is output, speaking English out loud, even when you're alone.
Speaking to myself. That might feel strange at first.
It might, but it's incredibly effective. Describe what you're doing as you go about your day. For example, while making coffee, I am pouring water into the machine. I am adding coffee grounds. It smells good.
So I'm basically narrating my life in English? That seems like a safe way to practice without pressure.
Precisely. And if you make mistakes, that's completely fine. Just notice them and try again. Mistakes are proof that you're learning.
That's reassuring. Many learners worry about making errors.
It's a natural part of the process. The important thing is to be consistent. Even 10 to 15 minutes of practice daily is more effective than long, irregular study sessions.
So, let's recap our 3 strategies. First, think in simple English sentences throughout your day. Second, get regular input through enjoyable English content. Third, practice speaking aloud to yourself.
That's it. These three approaches work together to rewire your brain for English thinking.
Before we finish, I want to address something many learners wonder. How long until they see results?
That's an important question. Language learning is a gradual process. You might notice small improvements in a few weeks, but significant changes take consistent practice over months. Be patient with yourself.
And remember to make it enjoyable. Choose content you love, celebrate small victories, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Well said, Alex. Learning English is a journey, not a destination.
We'd love to hear from our listeners. What techniques do you use to think in English? Share your tips in the comments below.
And if you found this helpful, please subscribe to Clarity English Studio for more tips and strategies.
Thanks for joining us today. Keep practicing, be kind to yourself, and remember, every bit of practice brings you closer to fluency.
Happy learning, everyone. We'll see you next time.